Hey everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday night Grow Family Call. My name is Janelle Phillips. Thank you so much for joining us live, or if you're catching the replay, thank you so much for making time in your day to be here with us. I am mixing up a slim as I usually do around this time of night because you can actually do that. If you didn't know, slim is good morning, noon, or night. And if you inhale as it's coming up, you can choke yourself. So don't do that, just be careful. All right, so how many of you guys made it on to our meet and greet that we just were on? That's why we're a little late. How many of you guys made it on to the meet and greet? Awesome. I know, I feel so bad. I'm like pulling people away from the meet and greet. But you've been met and greeted here. So yeah, awesome. Hey, happy February. Happy February. We've gotten through another month. We're all good. So nice to see all of your faces. Oh, we've got somebody that's still, oh, it's Amy. I was going to say, who's trying to connect to audio? Woo. All right. So I'm really hoping that you guys are ready to be interactive this evening. So I'm going to preempt this and say, again, I really hope that you guys are ready to be interactive this evening and that you have your day planner nearby, because that's super helpful. So if you don't, just take a quick second and like duck over and grab something, or I don't know, make something up, grab a piece of paper, have something by you, that stone tablet and a chisel, I don't know, whatever you want to write on, go for it. Maybe you do the computer, maybe you have a schedule in your phone. I don't know, guys. I honestly feel like my brain retains more when I write stuff down in my calendar. Awesome. So before we get too far into that, I'm actually going to turn the floor over to Sherry Grant, just so that you all can kind of like ready yourselves for the participation piece of this, right? So Sherry is actually, I don't know if you guys all know this or not, I feel like I say it often. Can I unmute you? I'm asking to unmute you. There you go. Asked unmute. No, maybe. Let me see. What if I did? Oh, there you are. There you are. Sherry Grant is our very own resident John Maxwell expert and certified coach. I get to call her an expert. That's not actually what she would say, but that's why I get to do the introduction. She is a John Maxwell certified coach and trainer, and we're just so blessed to have her here. And I know that she's got some things in the works with her coaching business. So I want her to just tell us a little bit about what's going on in the world of Maxwell, and then maybe give us a few extra little goodies as well. So have at her.
Okay, well, hello everyone. So John Maxwell actually just released a brand new book called Change Your World. And I think that title is just so right for us, because that's what we're doing. We're changing our worlds, and we're changing the worlds of people around us. And so in that process, he's also doing something rather unique, and it's called transformation tables. And he has done these in lots of other countries. He's done them with high-end executives, government leaders, and high school students, with amazing transformations. These transformation tables are with the concept of 6 to 8 people sitting together around a table, like in real space, but we're turning that into virtual space, and having a conversation about values. And the conversation is a guided conversation. So each person reads some of the material that's provided and then speaks to it from their heart and their perspective, and makes choices and creates a growth plan for themselves in terms of intentionality of what they're thinking around that value and how they see it playing out in their lives, and what sorts of things they might like to move forward with over the next week. So these occur, and anybody can go to the website changeyourworld.org. You can sign up for any of these transformation tables that happen to suit your schedule. I will be facilitating some of them. I'm doing one starting on Sunday evenings at 9 p.m., starting on the 7th of February. Also, I've scheduled one for Mondays at 11 a.m., starting on the 14th of February. But there's other facilitators that are doing them as well. So this is not mentorship. It's not coaching. It's not teaching. It's a transformational process of you engaging, and it comes from within you. So it's a really, really cool experience. So there's the adult piece of it. Now, I've got a granddaughter who has also been taking John Maxwell training, and there's a youth component. And the youth component, John Maxwell's designed what he calls an I Lead program, and there's some different components of it. The first one is I Choose, the second one is I Do. So on the I Choose part of it, my granddaughter, Catherine, did the certification training, and she's going to be facilitating a youth table. The youth table is 16 values. She's running them 2 afternoons a week, starting 4:30 to 5:30, starting this Friday. So Fridays and Tuesdays. So she's inviting people to participate in that. I will be present as a, I'm not sure what you call it, overseer, holder of the Zoom file, holder of the Zoom account. And this is a chance for students, high school students, 14 to 17? Amy, correct me if I'm wrong with her ages. But for them to learn to do leadership kinds of experiences. So they'll take turns doing the leading, making sure everybody gets a chance to talk and participate. And so that's going to run over 8 weeks, but it's 16 sessions. So 2 sessions
14
a
to
week.
17 is correct. I just checked.
Oh, good. Good. And the sessions will be less than an hour. So that's kind of the timeline of each of those sessions. I'll also put a link into the chat. Brenna and I, my daughter and I, also have some other John Maxwell webinar events scheduled. Those you just pop on, listen, no engagement required. So it depends where you are in your learning journey, which pieces of these things might be of interest to you. And if you're looking for some personal growth materials, The 15 Laws of Growth by John Maxwell is just an incredible book. And if anyone is thinking they want to use that as their growth plan for the year, there's some suggestions about reading a chapter a week for the first month, and then going through that book through the rest of the year with a chapter a year, and just really focusing on those different aspects of growth. So yeah, questions? Anybody got questions?
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask here. You can either type them in the chat or unmute yourself. My son is going to be taking part in the youth one, which I'm super excited for and slightly shocked. But hey, you know what? It's okay. You can shock your parents in a good way every now and again. So if there are anyone's sons that would be maybe interested, there is at least one boy who will be there, and he is 14, turning 15. So if anybody has questions, just unmute or throw the question in the chat.
Or message me.
Or message Sherry. I love that you're going to be there. I appreciate that for sure. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, and that's actually an important part of just the, how do I put it? Ensuring that the conversation remains on track for young people who are learning how to do this well. So, yeah.
Fantastic. I think Jessica has a question.
Yeah.
I do. I have quite bad psoriasis, and I was wondering, like, I know Alicia Dyke, she's my sponsor, but I was wondering what I need or what I can take for it.
Oh, awesome. You know what? We will get you set up with exactly what you need and into a support chat so that we can ask some more questions. and things like that. Yeah, I'm super excited for you though. I mean, I'm not excited that you have it, but I'm excited that you're here because there are so many people who have gotten help with skin stuff as well. So you are so on the right track, my dear. Awesome. Thank you so much. Alicia, make sure that we're all in a chat. Oh, wait, I'm talking to Alicia now. I don't think I see her. I saw her at the other. Oh no, I see her right there. Okay, cool. Anyway, fantastic. All right. So everybody has their notebooks, everybody has their calendars, all the things. Wonderful. All right. So I actually, before I forget, I want to announce something incredibly exciting for next week. Next week on our team call, we're actually having a very special guest, someone that I am just getting to know. Her name is Wendy Lindahl, and she is the new business coach for the Canadian and Northern United States region. She is fantastic, has been in the industry for a long time, and we're talking like feet on the ground to corporate. And she's actually been working with the Canadian market in different capacities for different companies over the last number of years. I think that she'd said for about the better part of a decade, she has been working with like strictly the Canadian market. I so have valued the conversations that I've had with her, just getting to know her again as my new business coach. When you get to be a senior Ruby and above, the company actually has employed business coaches for us to run reports and to do lots of those kinds of things that we just sometimes don't know. And they're just such a great help to us. So she actually volunteered and said, you know, if maybe you would have a team call sometime and you might be interested, you know, I don't mind. I was like, are you kidding me? How about Tuesday? So I jumped at it relatively quickly, hopefully not quickly enough to scare her, but I think we're getting an understanding. So she's going to be here to talk with us about things that she sees, especially for our team, for the country, obviously for Plexus worldwide too, because we're not just a Canadian team. We've got people who are joining us from New Zealand, from Australia, from the US, from Mexico. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be really fantastic. So make sure that you mark that on your calendars that you happen to have, oh, look, right in front of you, next Tuesday at 8:30. The number is always the same. We are always here. I need to put it in my husband's calendar on his phone because he's like, so what do you have to do today? And I'm like, well, it's Tuesday. And he's like, yeah. Always been the team call at 8:30. I'll be there till 9:30. It's okay. Anyway, so here is a question for you. Well, I'll start with this. So yes, Wendy, next Tuesday, 8:30. Really excited. How many of us caught the fireside chat with the founders yesterday on, I think that it was just the Plexus Ambassador community page? Anybody? Yeah. If you guys didn't catch it, we need to put the link into our leader lounge. Alec and Tarl are our president, founder, CEO, founder. They're phenomenal men. And Jen Hawkins, she was our second double diamond in the company. She interviewed them and just asked some really fantastic questions. But something that Tarl had said in response to Jen's questions just really struck me because it's been something that's really been on my heart. And I thought, man, you know what? I think we need to start doing this more intentionally and supporting each other as friends. Let's just say that, business partners, sidelines, pick an adjective. Like what are we? Like what? You are here, you are my Grow family. You are phenomenal, you are amazing. Pick something that works for you. So I would really encourage you guys. I would love to hear if you have one. We're talking morning routines. And Tarl was talking about how important it is to have a morning routine that serves you daily. Now I'm looking around at some faces here who I know have little kids and they're like, yeah, I got a morning routine. It starts from the time I open my eyes and I'm running after a kid who's peed on the floor, who's spreading peanut butter on the cat, who's like, that's my morning routine. It's different every day, except the constant is crazy, right? But you guys are in a season And there can still be a routine where when you do get that 10 minutes, maybe you turn on, I mean, for me, when my kids were young, it was like little Einsteins went on and I could actually have about 15 minutes of peace. What do you do with that time that you have? Or do you just scroll? Or do you stare blankly at the dishes and just hope somebody else will come and do them? I would love to start having a conversation about morning routines. What do you guys find works for you? Maybe it's not necessarily a morning routine, but maybe you've got an evening routine that kind of gets your morning started out right. Okay, Nikki is saying, I started getting up at 6 a.m. to have an hour before kiddos get up. I've been listening to a podcast during that time, and I'm not a morning person, but have been loving this so far. Well, congratulations to you, because we know, again, every moment that you can sleep is precious when you are not necessarily guaranteed the next full night, right? So good for you for doing that. I love that. Diana saying she gets up and going, has breakfast, and exercises for 60 to 90 minutes. I am absolutely astonished, Diana. Diana, would you unmute? Where are you? I can't see you. You were here. Oh, there you are. Are you? I don't know if you're in a place where you can unmute. You don't have your beautiful you don't have your beautiful face live on your camera. It's just your beautiful still face. Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Awesome. Can you tell us about your exercise routine and when and why you decided to start doing something like that?
Well, I started probably, 7 or 8 years ago. And I started out very, very slowly, where I would only do 10 minutes on my treadmill, and that's all I could get through. But then about probably 4 years ago, I decided, okay, enough is enough, and it's time to do this. So then I started going on my treadmill 40 minutes a day. And then my husband decided that we needed a recumbent bike as well. And so I thought, well, okay, 40 minutes on the treadmill, 35 minutes on the bike. And that's my morning routine every morning, 7 days a week.
That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Because you could have stayed at the 10 minutes and been like,
I could have, yeah.
But I love that. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. And you know what? I'm just going to say, 8 or 9 years ago, you were not 20 years old. And so you made a change when you were already probably pretty comfortable with what you were doing. So that's very inspiring, and the fact that you've stuck to it for as long as you have. So I absolutely love that. Does anybody else have a morning routine that they want to share? Does anybody else have good intentions for a morning routine that they would like to share? Because we know that sometimes those good intentions, you think, oh, I'm gonna start doing what Nikki's doing. I'm gonna start getting up at 6 a.m. I don't know. I'm gonna do all the things. Jessica says I sleep in the morning. Yeah, I hear you. I do too. My kids are old enough, they can get themselves ready to go in the mornings, and I tend to like to sleep. But I also know that when I do get up and I spend that time by myself, what I have been doing is I have been copying out scripture as part of my morning, every morning, that there's no peanut butter on the dog or whatever. So I've been doing that as sort of the starting set to my day. There is something about writing, you guys, and I wish I had the scientific information at my fingertips to give you, but putting thought from pen to paper or copying things, like you are reading them, they're coming through your brain, they're going out your pen, they're on a paper. There's so many senses that are being activated during that you can't help but be permeated with what you are doing. Another thing that I have been doing is I have been writing out lists of gratitude. So sometimes I found that when I started doing gratitude lists, I'm like, well, I'm thankful for everything. Like, I'm thankful for the pants I'm wearing or not choosing to wear, or I'm thankful for my house. I'm thankful for air conditioning in the summer. There's so many things I'm thankful for, but there are certain days where you're more thankful for certain things than others. It doesn't mean that you're less thankful for the other things. It's just those other things are really on your heart. And I think that that's an encouragement that we need to write down so that we can go back and be like, oh, look, on this day, I was feeling this. I remember that. I remember that feeling of gratitude. And it really does set our minds off in the right direction in the morning when we're starting with gratitude. Nicole is saying, my kids can sense when I'm awake, like Santa. Yeah. I'd love to get up and do the things. I do a bit of a routine once they go to school, just some self-care and recently reading. Awesome. So what are you reading? Can I ask? If you can unmute yourself.
What am I reading? How to Win Friends and Influence People.
That's a fantastic book. We did that one. Gosh, I feel like we've lived 1,000 years in the last like 365 days. I think we did that at the beginning of the year last year, didn't we? I'm looking at the faces who should remember. Good. I'm really glad I'm not the only one. We did it not too long ago. But then again, I feel like we did the Gold Mastermind that we're starting. I feel like we didn't do that one that long ago either. So it might have been a longer time ago, but I really love that. I really love that book. And actually, did you know that there's an updated version of it on Audible for...
Is it the digital age one?
Yeah.
I have that one too, so that'll be next.
Yeah, very, very cool. Leona says, my plan is always to read scripture every morning and get a workout in if I actually get up when my 5:30 alarm goes off. Lovely. So here's a tip that I found really interesting from my friend Amber Miller. She really wanted to start getting up early, like really early. But I mean, the woman just bought cows. So I think that the cows are part of the, yeah, Sherry's like, yeah, no. Anyway, so she actually started to go through a process of trying to wake up early. She didn't just all of a sudden set her alarm for like 4:30 in the morning. She started by increments of 15 minutes. So she'd wake up at one time for a period of days, and then she'd set her alarm back 15 minutes. And then she'd use that for a period of days. And then because I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I'm like, I'm gonna wake up, or I'm gonna wake up 3 hours earlier than I usually wake up, and I just try to do it and muscle my way through and wonder why on earth I'm falling flat on my face by like day 2, going, there's no possible way I'm gonna wake up that early. She's very smart, and she started to incrementally move her time back. So that's been really fun to see. But yeah, she has the same thing where her kids can sense that she's awake. So oftentimes you'll see her with a kid sleeping on her really, really early in the morning. My house the rule is you are not allowed out of your room until a certain time. I don't care who you hear. Your dad works shift work. Tough noogies. Stacy, are you unmuted and you want to share something?
Well, I can't chat because I have my laptop or my iPad here, but no, I just thought I would share really quickly my morning routine. When my kids are really little, before Plexus, they had to drag me out of bed. Like I had one that would sleep until 8, but then I had babies that were up at 6. And I can remember my toddler coming in, Mom, like come out of bed, and I'd drag myself out and I'd give her sippy cup of milk and a thing of Cheerios, turn on the TV and go crawl back into bed. Like I was just like zombie mom in the morning. I hated it. And I always wanted to be an earlier morning. And in the summer, I find it's easy to get up before the kids go for a walk. But when it's so dark out, but I still want to be awake before they come barging in, right? So every morning my alarm goes off at 6 and I stay curled up in my bed, but that's just my morning or my time to just spend time praying. And sometimes I doze off in there, but I'm getting better at just from 6 till 7. I just spend time praying, thanking God for things, praying for people, whatever. And then it's go time to get them out the door for school. But then I have a good half an hour where I spend time reading my Bible. Usually I get a workout in. It's getting better in the new year here. Then I do a bit of Plexus, and then it's all whatever for the rest of the day. But I try to keep that fairly consistent. It doesn't always happen, but
that's awesome. That's awesome. I do the same thing with prayer, only I have to set a 5-minute alarm on my watch in case I doze off, and it'll just keep on reminding me every 5 minutes. No, remember what you were doing. You were hey, no, you were praying. Come back.
It's my snooze. My snooze goes off every 10 minutes, and I'm still awake.
I'm still here. That's fantastic. Oh, Leona, in 2020, I read the Bible in 1 year, nearly all in my mornings before work. That's so great. That's so awesome. I did just see the other day an alarm clock that simulates the sunrise. Have you guys ever seen those? Maybe we need to do those as a prize sometime for something phenomenal where, yeah, you get that, right? You get the hands, this means sunrise, apparently. That's sunrise is, yeah, okay. So I've actually been doing some thinking about revamping our income producing or impact producing activity sheets. If you are here, I hope that you're familiar with it, but if you're not, that's okay too. When you start to work Plexus as more than just your supplement company, when you want to start sharing with people, it's really great to actually have a method. And so there is a sheet in the back of Grow in the files. That could be the front, really, for all we know. But anyway, it's in the files and it says IPA sheet. So there is one there, but I'd like to encourage you guys to add 3 things onto your impact producing activity for 2021. I don't know who actually coined the phrase first. I want to say we did, but then there was a Bob Heilig thing in there. So I don't know if it was us or if it was Bob, I'm not sure, but we really adopted the motto, love, serve, grow. And you'll notice that it's usually on our header every month is love, serve, grow. Grow has always been our team name. And actually, if you didn't know, some people didn't know this, it's actually an acronym for getting rid of weakness, which I think it's so funny how many people have been with us forever and they had no idea. But yeah, that doesn't really matter. But the love, serve, grow, I just really think is fantastic. So here is my challenge for you guys to add on to your either your morning routine, actually, or your evening routine, however you want to put it, or just to add it onto your sheet. And I'm going to try to redo our sheet so that it has this on it. I would love to see you guys be able to keep track of what did I do today to love somebody well? What did I do to love somebody well today? This may have nothing to do with your business. This may have something to do with your family. I would suggest it not be the same thing for the same person every day. Like I made supper for my family. Okay, yeah, great. Let's raise the bar a little bit. I fed the people, they did not starve. Good for me. Okay. So what did I do today to love someone well? Number 1. Number 2, what did I do with service in mind? How did I serve someone today? And number 3 is what did I do today to grow a little bit more in one area of my life today? And I really feel like if we band together as a group and we really make this our intention, we talk about reaching people from the core of loving them well. But what if our focus completely as human beings was to love people well, to serve others, and to grow? If we intentionally set ourselves to those 3 things, where we would be in a year from now. So that's my challenge to you guys to add on to your impact producing activity or to include in your impact producing activity. And I think when you write it down, you'll also be surprised as to where you go with all of these things. Now, the growth piece can be listening to a podcast. It can be joining one of the tables that Sherry was talking about. I'm really excited about this new Maxwell book. It can be doing the gold, the growing from gold, growing to gold mastermind that we have set up. All of the information is in the leader lounge. And that is going to be really exciting, but it needs to be something that you're doing every day. And I don't know, maybe you want to be an overachiever and pick 3 things where you have to be responsible for 3 things. But I really truly believe that the impact from those 3 ideals are really going to move you forward, both personally and in your business. All right. Okay. So what I want you to do is get your calendars out. Now that we've talked about morning routines, now that we've talked about the impact producing activity on those 3 little things, I want you to take a look at your next week. I remember that Lori Welch used to say, if you want to tell me, or if you tell me that you're, how did she put that? Show me your calendar and I'll show you the holes in your business. So, and some people are like, I don't need a calendar. I don't, and the one that I want to pick on is not even here. So I won't pick on her. She's like, I'm not a planner person. I try. And guys, I wish I could show you. I wish you were here to see the progression of my planners. Every year, my planner gets more filled out. And every year, my necessity for a planner grows. So I want us all to shirk off the cloak of perfection, okay? I don't know if you guys were like me, but when I was like 18 or 19, I had a fantastic memory, like fantastic. I worked as a server in a musical theater, and I would remember the names. I would memorize the names of every person that sat at all of my tables. It was between 30 to 45 people every night. I would remember their names so that I could call them by name throughout the evening. Guess what? I couldn't do that today to save my life. No way, no how. There are other things that have taken up brain space, including my calendar, right? I think, oh, I'll remember that. And then it's gone. Start using your calendar as a reminder, as a place of rest, so that you can let go of those things and you can just look through. Again, I would really suggest you have a paper planner, because there's something beautiful that happens when you're writing things and putting them on paper. They don't all need to look like Nicole's. Nicole, do you have your little poop emoji bullet journal up, or do you have, see, look at, isn't that beautiful? Hold on a second. Let me just speaker view her. Hold on just a minute, Nicole. I need to pin you. Pinning you. Look at that. Guys, is that not the cutest thing ever? The cutest thing ever. Oh my word. Yeah. Okay. So she's been doing this amazing bullet journal-y thing and then extras. You don't have to do that if that's not your deal. If it is, talk to her, follow her on Instagram. It's amazing. But you can utilize a planner. So I want you guys to write 3 things that you intend to, 1 to 3 things, not 3 things, 1 to 3 things that you intend to implement as a morning routine, or maybe just start to create a jot note outline. Is there anything you need to tweak in your morning routine? Maybe for me, it's when Nolan is up on days, I don't lay there in my cozy bed with my eyes closed and my snooze button going. I actually turn on the light and pray from an upright position, so I get a little bit more prayer and a little less snooze. Maybe you're putting your supplements by your bed so you can take your vital biome as soon as you open your eyes in the morning, and then you're ready to go. Maybe before bed, part of an evening routine might be you are reading for 20 minutes before bed. But start that framework. When we consider what successful people do, this is one of those habits that most successful people have. They have a routine that they do in the morning. And it doesn't necessarily just need to be, I'm sitting down. It can be, okay, I'm going to get up. I think it was is it called The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers? I think that's the book that I'm thinking of. If I'm telling the story and I'm wrong, somebody just correct me. This person gets up, fills a big jar, mason jar, full of water, and then they go and they sit down to do some journaling. But they're going to consume that mason jar full of water while they are doing their journaling. They're doing their water, they're doing their gratitude, maybe doing their scripture reading, but that's part of their morning routine. And then they go and they make a green smoothie, and they're going to go for a run, and just all of those things, but that's part of their morning routine. So plan in the next couple days to try to work out what a morning routine could look like for you. Don't give yourself 7 things to do, because you know what? Like little changes, sustainable, like Amber, right? 15 minutes every couple days. The clock back, 15 minutes. Okay. Then I want you to take a look at your calendar over the next little while. And we've got Wednesday through Monday. We have a health Zoom coming up on Monday, 7 o'clock every Monday night. Really excited. I think we're working on the people who are going to fill those places, Amy. We'll get back to you on that. But the graphic that is in Grow is a multi-use graphic. It just says, ask me for details or whatever. And you're going to be able to share that graphic with whomever you would like. You can start sharing it on your stories. You can ask for, ask me for info, whatever you want to do, but start to invite people to the Health Zoom. Our first one, we had a ridiculous number of views on it, and we had a crazy number of people who were in attendance. I was so proud. We had a couple of people who were there. I just want to go see because I haven't looked lately. We're streaming them into Grow. How many of you guys watched them from Grow? Can I see signs, like hands? Did you watch them from Grow? No hands. Okay, hold on. I need to see. Oh, no big deal. It had 204 views. Guys, do you know how amazing that is? Awesome. Amy's saying Cheryl, Norleen, and Amy, and then they're waiting for maybe a couple more yeses. That's awesome. So guys, the purpose of funneling it into Grow is that our wholesalers or people who maybe aren't working their business, they need layered exposure and belief built into them. And that's really something that has been on my heart this year, has been building more belief into the people that we already have. So somebody might not take the opportunity to dial into a call and click on it or watch the link later or whatever. But we have 204 people who have viewed this Health Zoom who maybe would never have seen it to begin with. Who knows if they watched it from beginning to end? That doesn't really matter, right? We also have, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the description of the live is also the link to go and share that with somebody else. So if you're listening and you hear a story and you're like, oh my gosh, that's just like my sister Kate, take the link and send it to Kate. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Start inviting people to come to these Health Zooms. Don't wait until Monday morning and be like, oh my gosh, I wanted to invite these 12 people. Okay, give them a chance to say yes. I mean, yes, there'll be another Monday night, but let's start inviting them now and driving those people to those Health Zooms. You guys can invite people who already, like I said, who already are ambassadors. Hey, don't forget to tune in to the Health Zoom. It's at 7 o'clock. Okay. I want to congratulate a couple of people here, and I need names really quick. Sorry, hold on. I want to congratulate Noelle Taylor and Diana Pineff for already sponsoring in the month of February. Congratulations. We have 2 brand new ambassadors by the 2nd of February. That is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations. And these ladies are well on their way to achieving their success sprints. And the tracker, have you guys all looked? The tracker is now up in your back office. Isn't that fantastic? So what the tracker is going to do for you guys is it's going to keep you accountable. We love that, don't we? Accountability can be a double-edged sword. You can know exactly where you are, but then you know exactly where you are. There's no denying it. So you can go onto your dashboard page to find out where you are and more information on how to earn credits. Now, remember, you need to be qualified in order to receive credits. So they're saying to participate in this contest, you must be February commissions qualified. Does anybody know what you need to be commissions qualified? Can anybody tell me? Somebody shout it out or put it in the 100 PV. 100 PV. Awesome. Oh, and Jimmy Lou has a shout out. Congratulations to Lisa Marie getting her 3 new ambassadors for January. Congratulations to Alicia and team. doing our first New Zealand Health Zoom. Fantastic. That was on Saturday night. I need to ask how that went. Congratulations to everyone, guys. We had a great month in January, but I feel like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I feel like sometimes in January, we sort of like the train sort of stops for whatever reason at the end of December. And then it's like, we're trying to oil all the wheels and the gears to kind of get going again in January. And kind of by the third week or fourth week, we're finally starting to wake up. And that's why I love the 2 new ambassadors already this month. I'm like, see, look, we're waking up. It's all good. It's fantastic. So now I want you to take a look at your calendar and I want you to time block in. I know this is so hard. I want you to time block in when you're going to dedicate time for your business this week. And one of those things for tonight or tomorrow, I would love to challenge you guys, if you would, to giving some space and thought to goal setting for the month of February. What do you want from your business in the month of February? How many people would you like to sponsor? How many people would you like to have spoken to specifically about Plexus by the end of the month? How many people do you need to talk to who maybe are under 100 PV and it's just a hard conversation to have because you just don't wanna, but you never know, maybe that person actually really needs something, and if you don't ask, they don't know. And Nicole's got her sticky notes out already, so you know that's where I'm going next. We're gonna have a new sticky note post up in the Leader Lounge. If you guys don't know what the sticky notes are all about, it's all about, again, the A word, accountability. And it's such a great tool. Leaders, I'd really encourage you to know what your people's sticky notes say, so that at the 15th, you can say, hey, Robin, you wanted to sponsor 27 people this month. I know that was in your heart, but you only have 21 by the 15th. What can I do to help you get those extra 6 in the next however many? Wouldn't that be great, Robin? Great problem to have. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. And I'm totally kidding if you guys are new here. Like, what we suggest is 3 people a month on 3 products for 3 months. We don't, 27 is just a ridiculous number. And so we want to get your names up on our walls. The other thing that I love about putting sticky notes up on my wall with people's names on them is that sometimes I squirrel, and not that I forget you, but it's a really great reminder for me to say, hey, those people are running. Those people are running with their businesses. That person there that wants to get 1 person, that's so, so valuable. I can't forget that that person maybe needs some thought or some prayer or some encouragement or whatever. So I love having your names up on my wall, because then I can be a little bit more intentional with my own thoughts, your leader as well. And then we can try to help as much as we can. So the other thing that I would encourage you to do once you've got those goals set is say, okay, so I want my 3 people. It's a short month this month. Remember, we've got like 3 less days in it than we did last month. And those are like the golden 3 days, right? Those last 3 days are when things happen. So maybe you want to say, okay, if I want 3 people, I want to have that 3rd person squared away by the 21st, right? I want to do 1 by the 7th, 1 by the 14th, and 1 by the 21st. So what kind of activity do I need to be doing every day in order to make that happen? And then I want you to look back at your calendar, and I want you to say, okay, where are you going to find that time? And then be protective of that time. You guys don't need to work this business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It can feel like it though. Guys, I'm giving you the permission. I'm giving you the permission not to work. But I also want you to step into the space of where you can actually work well in an allotted period of time. I don't know if you heard Stacy when she was talking about her morning routine. She's like, I do some Plexus in the morning, and then I do whatever I'm going to do in my day. She didn't say, oh, I do this, and then I scroll. And then I go and I comment on people's posts. And by 2 o'clock, I'm getting around to, maybe there are days that she works a little bit more, but she has a life. And we're really good with life balance here. In fact, if you don't have balance, you've got a job, right? And they talk about that all the time. And jobs aren't bad, But this is supposed to be a little bit different. This is supposed to foster freedom, right? And yeah, there'll be seasons. There'll be seasons in your business where you work more. Maybe you need to connect with some sidelines and do a power hour or virtual workout or whatever you want to call them. I thought power hour sounded a little bit intimidating, so I decided to call them virtual work hours. Does that sound more, am I being more open? I don't know, you guys. But at 2 o'clock from Mondays through Fridays, we've had a really great crew. We've had Nicole and Nikki have been there. Amanda and Emily have been there. Diana's been there on a couple of days. Linda. Who else? I'm trying to think. Carrie's been there. Myself. Come on this number at 2 o'clock Monday through Friday, and we are working for an hour. Sometimes we cry. Oh, Sherry was there last week. I'm not saying that you were connected to the tears. I'm just saying Sherry was there. There was some crying happening. It was good. And I think when we were done that Zoom, I came out and Nolan was here and he's like, so how did that go? And I was like, well, we didn't get a lot of work done, but we had really good conversation. And there was some like cleansing of emotions that happened that day. And there was stuff that needed to be talked about and fixed. And I feel like we did that. And so that's part of the beauty of working together. You guys don't need to be working alone, right? It's the whole, like, I don't know, I think we did this the best ever. And everybody else who got shut down for COVID or whatever, they kind of had to catch up, right? And this is why we do Zooms like this, is because when you're working from home, sometimes it gets lonely. There's nobody, you go to the water cooler, there's nobody there. It's just the cat with the peanut butter on it from the morning or whatever, right? So you guys can come on, and honestly, some days we have our cameras on, we're muted, and we're all working. Amanda and Emily are usually across the table from each other. They each have their own device and they're working. You can spend the entire Zoom, and for you red type ones are probably like, I don't understand what the point of that is. The point completely escapes me. But somebody might jump on who doesn't work or isn't used to doing the business, and they got a question where, oh my gosh, I have somebody who just said that they took Slim and their third toe fell off, and they're wondering if it's detox, right? You guys know where this is going. And then you unmute and you're like, oh no, honey, you need to go to a doctor. That's not detox, right? So we can encourage each other and share our knowledge, right? If somebody needs to vent about their dog marking something in Canadian Tire, that was me the other day. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I thought that children had made me humble enough. Apparently not. Apparently I needed an adjustment by way of a dog. Anyhow, so please, please, please join us. I think there might be a couple other ones that are happening. Yes, Diana, it's One Mountain. Oh, Robin is saying something here. Hold on a second. Let me go back. Robin says, I want to say this before scrolling up first. Customer order today. So Amy's commission qualified. Great job. That is brilliant. Guys, if you can have a customer that orders like the first or second and you're at 100 PV, that is peace in your heart and money in your bank account right there. Chelsea said, I want 6 people this month and to help my girls go silver. Yeah, girl, you do that. We're in the beginning of a new Silver Stars earner contest, January, February, March, and it'll be whoever sponsors and has their team 4 levels deep sponsor silvers. What? Sherry's giving me a finger. It's not a bad one. Oh, now you could just talk.
No, I'm just typing. Robin just gave me a brilliant idea. I've got this Apple Watch that I really don't use to any level of expertise at all because I'm just learning about technology. But why don't I tell it to remind me about things? Like, that's brilliant. Thank you, Robin.
I'll read her full comment. Sherry just had a brain baby. I love it. Robin said, I want to say this before I forget. I just bought an Apple Watch just for Siri so she can remind me to do things. I tell her, Siri, remind me to follow up with Lauren at 3:15 p.m. today. when I know I'll have a minute to do it and then I can't forget. I do love that. I do love my watch for that. And thank you. See, this is why we have calls, so we can share and pool ideas together and people can have brain children. It's great. Though you don't, those babies, once they're birthed, you don't need to feed them anymore. They're good. And then she says, and I can tell her my reminders while I'm driving, so the dashboard isn't wasted. Yes. And you know what? I actually used Siri on my phone today to try to help me write my post, because guess what happens to me all the time? Either I have a great idea for a Monday morning minute just as I'm falling asleep, or I write posts in my brain while I'm driving. And then by the time I get to the point of writing them down, they're gone. I've got like the bare bones of it, but like the sass and the smartness, it's like it like expires and goes away somewhere. So I wrote my post via Siri on the way from getting the kids to school. Siri's like a best friend. Well, good, because Alexa isn't working too well in my house right now. So it's the whole thing about Siri. Does anybody have any questions or, pardon me, piece of phlegm in my throat. Questions, thoughts? Everyone is registered for the wellness event, right?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just trying to find the replay for the Super Saturday. I looked up online and the frequently asked questions, and it gave me instructions, but when I followed those instructions, it was not there. Or
it is possible that it is no longer available, because I know that they were talking about keeping it up for about a week. But let me just look here. No. Okay, I'm gonna ask about that and see if it is still available for those people who registered. The other thing you could do, I don't know if anyone has tried to do this recently, but going to your email confirmation and signing into the brand live page. Actually, I'll just try to do that right now. I'll see if that will work. But it is possible, because I know that Super Saturday wasn't going to stay up for very long, or that was the initial plan. Sorry, I do have
it said also that people who registered who weren't ambassadors or something, that they would get it in their email to watch as a replay. But I'm an ambassador, and one of my girls is also an ambassador, and so not technically a non-ambassador person who got that email. So
right. And it's possible too that the email replay went to a different folder. I know that they've been having some problems with the folders. Does anybody else know anything about this? I'm having a hard time logging in. It's like just not doing anything. So I'll ask around and try to put the answers in the silver chat, if that's okay. Sherry, do you have thoughts? You look like you have thoughts. I did look in the ambassador training calendar, but I'm just looking here to see, because sometimes they have them in the back office after a while, but I'm not sure how that will work with Dr. Cloud. Sherry? Oh, health events in Grow. The last two were streamed live. So if I should go and hashtag those or clip them. I'm just looking here. I can't find it quickly, so I'll try to do some looking and see about that. Thanks so much, Chelsea. We are actually going to try, Diana, to do a list of the health events in the leader lounge with a couple things that people experienced, so that you can send that to people a little bit more pointedly. So yeah, anybody else have any questions? Good, great, grand. So you guys have your marching orders. It's not anything major. Goal setting. grabbing some clarity on that, because you want to get to a destination, you got to know which direction you're going. So goal setting, finding some time and space to create that good essential morning routine, finding those pockets in your day to do the work that is going to support the goals that you have. And then really encouraging yourself to go towards loving people, focusing on the loving people well, serving others, and growth for yourself. So I'm really excited to hear back from you guys. Also, if you have not signed up for our Growing to Gold and Beyond Mastermind, the post is in the Leader Lounge. I think we will probably kind of close it up here within the next couple of days, just because you don't want to get behind on something like that. The video is in the chat group. Message me if you're not in the chat group yet, we'll get you in there. And yeah, okay, one last question. If someone can only do one product, that's a good question. Does anybody have a thought on GERD? GERD. Oh, Sherry's saying that Super Saturday replay still seems to be available on Brand Live. I just couldn't log in. So if you log into your Brand Live account that you created for Super Saturday, it should be there.
I just went to my email and hit the link, and I had it come up and start playing. And it looks like it's a 2-hour play run, so it looks like it's all there.
Perfect. That's awesome. And don't forget, I think Super Saturday, I think we're doing an express I can't remember what day it is. It's a team day. But I love them. So X Factor is what people are saying. Slim, yes, but I mean, Slim does so many things. Slim is great for absorption, for sure. The issue is that with anything like that, chronic, we are looking at gut health, inflammation, those kinds of things. So if they want to start with one thing, I would be like, yeah, you can try this and see how it works for you. Just know that if you were asking me what I should take for this, I would be suggesting Triplex plus X Factor. So awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording here. Thank you guys so much.